Hello, happy Wednesday. And let me turn on the volume. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having an amazing week. As they say, happy hump day. Middle of the week, get over the hump. And so awesome. Well, if you're here, say hi. I would love to hear from you. And also, while I pull up my PowerPoint, let me know how it's been going for you the last couple of days. Step 1, we're on step 2 today. And what's been so far your biggest takeaway from the YouTube monetization challenge? And I'm going to go ahead and pull up the PowerPoint. So today we are going to be talking about, yesterday we talked about content and the importance of starting with the right content for your audience, niche, and topic. And then also today we're going to talk about consistency. Okay, so how come it's not showing the way that I wanted to show? All right, let me just do this one more time and try this again and see if that works now. Okay, I'm going to try another way. Let's see if this way works this time. I just want to make sure that the screen is full screen. There we go. Okay, awesome. Little details. And I'm going to be preparing a document at the end, like a bonus document on some of the things you want to look for when you're filming your videos for YouTube. And when it comes to a presentation, like if you're doing a live stream, like something like this, there's even more things to think about. But it'll give you a kind of like a good rundown, a good checklist to have for creating better videos. Okay, so what are we doing today? Our agenda is we're going to do a quick review from step 1, which was yesterday. We're going to talk about the power of consistency and why this alone might blow up your channel. The third thing is we're going to talk about understanding the algorithm, the elusive YouTube algorithm, and try to shock it. And getting some content ideas so that you can be consistent, kind of piggybacking off of what we learned yesterday. I'm going to give you today's action steps. And then the content for this presentation today is going to be a little bit shorter, I think. I think it might be about 20 minutes. So you're welcome to leave after that. Or if you have any questions from yesterday's content or today's content, I can do a short little Q&A for you, and we'll go ahead and do that. Okay? So just a review from yesterday. I hope that you were encouraged that it could be easier for you to get monetized. And like I said yesterday, it could just be one video might get you monetized. It could be a super viral short that gets 10 million views, or it could be an hour-long video that has a super engaged audience with only 4,000 views, meaning 4,000 people who watch your entire 1-hour video, or maybe it's 5,000 people watch 80% of your video, but you get the idea. It could be one video alone. The video that you post today could get you eligible for monetization. So it could be easier than you thought. And then I created this little target audience content matrix, which is where you start with the topic, the content that you feel authority in, where your expertise is. And then we added into a large enough niche of the YouTube market. We then also combine that with what your audience, which you might not know exactly who that is right now. It might take a month or 3 or 10 months. But as you put out content, you're going to know more and more what your audience cares about. And then there needs to be your purpose and passion so that it's something sustainable over the long run. Anybody can put out content for a month and maybe get, blow up and get a large following. But what you want to do is find that magic, target point where your content reaches a larger audience, your audience cares about it, and you're passionate about the content that you're posting. So that was a quick little recap from yesterday. So step 2 of the 5 steps to monetize your YouTube channel is consistency. So the key here is to post consistently. And we can't even talk about the effects, the power of consistency until we talk about the algorithm. And for some of you, the wires are crossing and you're cross-eyed, right? It's like this number and this and this and la 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 la. So here's the thing. The actual YouTube algorithm is completely elusive. We don't actually know, like there isn't any published anywhere. YouTube isn't publishing its algorithm for everybody to be like, if you just do A, B, and C, you're going to get this. If you just do this, your post is going to go viral. They're not publishing that. What we do, and this is why I'm teaching this, is it's trial and error. We put out the content and that's how we're able to see, oh, this worked and this didn't work. Or maybe do a little bit more of this, do this more, and that's going to help. Do this less or tweak this, and that's going to help. And in the later steps, I'm going to talk about TNT, test and tweak. That's kind of like my way of helping you refine your content strategy and your plan so that you can grow even faster, even more on YouTube. So here's what we do know about the algorithm. It favors consistency. And by the way, side note, that's up for pretty much every single social media platform. If you notice, the same thing happens on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. Of course, you can get a really super viral video on any of those platforms, but to have that consistent growth, you want to have consistent content that you're posting. It rewards loyalty. So if you're actually making a concerted effort to grow your YouTube channel and to build a community on YouTube, it will reward you. YouTube, the way that it works is when you post a video, it'll seed, meaning it'll dabble and post the content to a small percentage of what you think would be your wider, or what it thinks would be your wider audience. And based on the performance of the video, it'll put it out to more people or it won't. And so that's why we always want to, the step we're going to talk about, I believe on Friday, we're going to talk about some ways that you can refine it so that you get out to a wider audience. And then the fourth thing is that when viewers watch your content, they're more likely to be shown your videos again. And so that's why we want to get the video out to as many people, because then more of them will watch your videos. And if that seems a little confusing, maybe this will give a more visual help. Okay. So when I thought of that concept, it reminded me of the saying that the rising tide lifts all boats. So, if the algorithm is in your favor, it's going to help all of your videos be seen. So if you post one video today and assuming you have more content on your YouTube channel, it's more likely that the person that views your video today will see more of your videos. Like it's going to be popped in front of them. It's going to be shown to them. So the algorithm will show more of your videos. And I'm going to go ahead and venture to say that the algorithm will show eventually all of your videos. And I know this because one of my clients who her account is 12 years old, I see her videos on my dashboard. Like when I go onto the feed from 12 years ago, 12-year-old videos. evergreen videos are being shown to me from lots of people that I follow. So this is why you want to be consistent, because the YouTube algorithm will favor you. And I didn't even have this in the content today, but evergreen content is like a blessing. If you have content, and by evergreen, I mean some content that isn't time based or super breaking news or something that is timely, but and which most of us that are following me are educators, are experts, and we create content that isn't necessarily time based. It can be more evergreen, and that's great. I have some videos that still do really well from 10 years ago. And I've rewatched it and I was like, okay, the content is pretty evergreen. No wonder people are still watching that video. And so, pretty much, I would say YouTube is one of the only platforms, or among the main platforms, that actually shows you content or shows its audience content from years ago. Most other platforms are much more tight. Like they'll show you videos from a week ago, maybe 3 months ago, but they're not popping up videos from years ago like YouTube does. So that's in your favor when you talk about longevity. So the consistency is really the key. So what I want you to do is, if you really want to grow fast, I want you to commit to post every day if possible. And if you're really committed to this particular challenge, I urge you to post at least once per day. So if you didn't post yesterday, that's fine. Post today. And put a little time in your calendar to post tomorrow. And put a little time in your calendar to post on Friday, and so on. Even better, if you really want to grow fast, you can post multiple times per day. But I understand that this is a habit that we're forming, so I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. What I suggest always when anybody's creating a new plan is to start with what is feasible. So I want you to really think about what you can actually commit to. So is it more feasible for you to say, okay, I commit to post once a day, Monday through Friday? I think that's very reasonable. Maybe it's 4 times per week. Maybe it's 3 times per week. Whatever you feel like you can commit to, being consistent. Like if you always do a special a special course or class on Wednesday, maybe you know that, okay, well, that Wednesday class, I'll take a little piece of that class and post it on YouTube, right? Start thinking about ways that you can become more consistent. And here's the thing, I prefer you to post consistently once or twice a week rather than going all in, posting 3 times per day for a month and get totally burnt out. And then you're like, I can't do it anymore. I'm burnt out. I prefer you to make it a habit and create consistency rather than just going balls to the wall. And burnout is actually a thing that I've heard many people on YouTube talk about. It happened to me a little bit as well. So I hope that I'm imparting this idea that the consistency is the key, but I want it to be feasible for you and your lifestyle. So make it a priority, but also don't get overwhelmed doing it. Okay? And with that, a plan needs action for success. And so yesterday we talked about different types of content and what might be the right content for your audience. And we can create a plan. I even had you come up with a few content ideas for your audience. And we can plan all we want. We can strategize. I can even create a plan for you. But you must post. You must actually take the action step of posting a video so that you can really understand your niche and your audience. And this is actually a real concern that I have from several clients, that they worry so much about having it all figured out before they post that they don't even post. And I'm telling you right now, you don't have to have anything figured out right now. Right now, all I want you to do is to start posting, because by posting, that's going to give you feedback. And we're not going to get into it today, but YouTube has the best, I was going to say the most phenomenal. I'm going to stick with that. The most phenomenal analytics of any of the top social media platforms. They have excellent analytics. And if you feel like that's a little bit over your head, then set up a strategy session with me and I'll go through it with you and I'll teach you how to do it. I love analytics so much now, but at first it was definitely, it can feel a little bit scary. But once you learn, I posted this video and I got so much engagement. Okay, I'm going to do more videos in that topic, because that's what gets engagement from my audience. So we don't know that, though. We don't know with accuracy what's going to work, what's going to get you the engagement and the views and the comments and the subscribers until you put the content out there. So just post something for now. And if nothing else, by posting today, you'll shock the algorithm. And I've seen this. I actually started noticing by looking at different analytics, and I'm going to show you some now, that this was the case for almost everyone, actually everyone that I've worked with, including myself. And I'm going to show you some graphics here. So you see here, it's kind of like a flat line. And what I noticed is this person posted on this day and then continued to post, but all of a sudden, so they posted on this day after not posting for a while, and all of a sudden, their overall engagement increases just by starting to post. And the same thing happened here. They posted on this day, and then look how, it was a flat line. This is a different person's analytics. And then the trend is going upward. You see, there are some dips, of course. There are some dips and highs and lows. But notice that the trend is going upward. So they're getting more views. And here it says 277% more than the previous days. And here's another example. This person posted on this day right here. You see, it was a flat line, and then they posted, and then they continued to post, but overall, the engagement continues to increase over time. And this is actually just over like a month and a half period. So these are short, just some small little snippets, visual representations of what can happen to your channel. And that's why I always say just post, because once you post, you're going to get that feedback that can help you tailor and customize and improve your content. So here are some content ideas so that you can be consistent. You could repurpose, if you already have a YouTube channel, you can repurpose some older YouTube videos or turn them into shorts. So I was looking back and I have some really, really good content from years ago, and I might just repurpose them. Instead of creating a new video on the same topic, I might just turn it in, repurpose, turn it into a short, or shorten it, or add some music, make it into something new, but using my old content. And this is particularly important, actually, all of these steps or all of the content ideas, if you have evergreen content. Why? Because you don't necessarily need to recreate the exact same content. You don't need to say the same thing over again. You can repurpose what you've already said about that content. So the second option here is if you have videos, reels, live streams that you post or have posted on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, you can reuse those videos. And I touched upon this yesterday. Start with those. If you have a hard time coming up with new content, start with the videos you've already made, right? You will get to a point where you will be creating new content. But for now, when you're starting, use what you already have as a foundation, and then you can build upon it. If you have master classes or courses, you can either post those entire master classes, those will get you watch hours, which is what you want to get monetized, or you can chop them up into a smaller series of trainings. So I actually did that recently. I don't remember exactly how long it was. I think maybe it was like an hour-long masterclass. I posted the entire masterclass, and then I took two about 3-minute clips from that longer class, and I turned those into a shorter training. So basically, it was in a sense, it was kind of like a repurpose of the masterclass. And so I was able to take one content piece and make 3 content pieces from it. And I can still turn that into more content pieces if I wanted to. And probably even more now that I'm thinking about it, because I think I also turned it into a reel. I'm sorry, not a reel, a short, which is the minute-long videos. So I think I turned that into multiple, maybe 4 or 5 content pieces from one video. So that's another option. Now, here's another one. If you're a podcaster, even if you had a podcast 5 years ago or 10 years ago, turn that podcast into a video. And if you were not actually in the video during the podcast, all you have to do is have a one blank screen, like a regular, like you can make even like a slide and have that as your background for the audio, and boom, you have a video. So imagine you post your entire podcast. If you've got 10 or 20 or whatever it is, what'd you call that? I guess like just your actual podcast, 10 podcasts, then put that, you can put the entire podcast on your YouTube if you want. You can even make it fun and maybe drop one new one per day, or you can drop a new one per week. And again, if it's evergreen content, like it's not necessarily anything brand new that or anything timely, you can definitely roll that out and use that as part of your content strategy. So for action steps for today, and again, I'm going to have a few minutes. We're going to end a few minutes early. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them into the chat. And I guess I'll answer 1 or 2 questions depending on what they are. What I'd like you to do is comment on this video what days you commit to post every week. So I want you to think about and be realistic about what's feasible for you to create consistency on YouTube. Maybe for now, it's actually only posting twice a week, and then build up to 3, then 4, then 5 times per week. Okay. I prefer you to do that and actually be consistent than to overcommit and then not actually do it. And then if you didn't do any of the action steps from yesterday, you can add that to the post from today. And then I want you to challenge yourself to create 1 new video today. And share the link so that we can all comment and engage, right? Because the more you get engagement on your videos, the more people are going to see it. That's just the way the algorithm works. If you get more engagement equals more buzz, more views for your video, right? Because YouTube says, oh, this is a popular video. More people like this. So we're going to show it to more people. That's just the way it works, right? So better to learn the algorithm and know what works and, and hack that algorithm, right? So an alternative, if you don't want to create a new YouTube video, you can do a live stream. You can post a video or a training you've already made, or you can repurpose an old video. So with that, that's the end of today's training. So I said it was going to be about 20 minutes. It took us about 25 minutes. Okay, so this is good for me to know. What was your biggest takeaway from today's lesson? And if you have a question, go ahead and drop that in as well. That's a great question, Debbie Lynn. So I'll answer that after, but I wanted to know what's your biggest takeaway from today's lesson so far? And while you post in that, just wanted to end with this quote. The YouTube algorithm rewards consistency. Take advantage of this YouTube loyalty program by posting content consistently every week. Yeah, Debbie Lynn, that's great. I actually had my first couple of weeks posting. I just was putting every other day. I was posting. I have so many long videos, trainings, master classes, and I just posted a bunch of them those first couple of weeks. And they're hour-long videos, so that's all helping me increase my watch hours. So it was actually really giving me a good foundation from videos that were, some of them were 6 months old or a year old. So absolutely. The other option is you can chop them up. Like maybe there's a little segment in there that you think is really good. And instead of posting an entire hour long, you can post a 3-minute or a 5-minute clip from a training. And so to answer your question, Debbie Lynn, can you share a bit more about what the community function is? How does it help the algorithm? So we're actually going to talk about community tomorrow. So I'm just going to tease then what we're going to talk about with that. And, I just saw, okay, I'm going to go ahead and answer, and then I'll say what the other two questions were. What happens is that the more engagement that you get on YouTube, and by the way, this applies for almost every social media platform, the more engagement you get, the more YouTube says, this is a good video. More people are liking this video. They're watching this video. They're engaging with this video. And it's like a tripwire. Ooh, that's a really good way to say it. It's a tripwire for YouTube to say, let me place this video in front of more people. And that way you have more chance to grow your audience and have more people watch the video, because usually you start with a core, it's like a core audience that the video is going to be shown to. But as you build your community and get more engagement, YouTube will show it to more and more and more people. And in a couple of days, we're going to talk about the viral factor. And there's a few things you want to consider for actually getting it in front of thousands or maybe potentially millions of people. But for now, you want to increase that community engagement as much as possible. I hope that answered your question. And if it didn't, we're going to dive in more in community tomorrow, and that should give you more answers on that. And Tony says, a plan needs action for success. Great reminder. Yes. And what your first name is. So the question is, what's the limit for the length of time for a video? Okay, so there actually isn't there isn't a limit as far as how long it can be. There are people who have 10-hour live streams. I'm not even joking. So you can have a very long video. Now, the shortness for a video, for a long form video to count as a view, it has to be at least 30 seconds. That's for a long form video. For a short, which is the separate feed, which is the vertical videos that you see on your phone, the limit is 60 seconds, and it can be it could be a second. It could be anywhere from a second to 60 seconds for the shorts. So I hope that answered your question. Okay, well, if there aren't any other questions, and if there are, you can type it in and I will make sure to address it tomorrow. But I've been wanting to make sure that I get this within 30 minutes just to honor your time and honor my time as well. But thank you all. I appreciate you. I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And if you do answer the question, make sure to post right in the comments section of this video, and I'll engage with it. And if you make a video, please include the link, and we'll all send you some love and make sure that you get some additional engagement on your video to boost that algorithm in your favor. All right, everyone, have a wonderful, blessed rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.